Welcome to Pacific Mystery School. And we are talking about the Tarot of the Spirit as both Kabbalistic and shamanic. And there is a place where the tree of life and the elemental path overlaps. And we'll be talking about that as we go through the cards. So Kabbalistic, this is part of the Western Mystery School tradition, and Kabbalistic means that the cards fit on the Kabbalistic tree of life. It is a 10-point diagram. All the ones fit on the number one on the diagram, twos fit on the number 2, threes on the number 3, and so on. The tree of life is the diagram, and Kabbalah is actually the information or the messages or the secret knowledge that is received when you immerse in the step-by-step path of that diagram of the tree of life. That glyph, it's called, the glyph of the tree of life. Today we're going to talk about the number 1 and the ones in tarot. The ones are critical, the ones are central, because the ones are the key energy that comes together and creates everything in the universe and then begins to fan out into the 4 different suits of tarot. So it is said that in the beginning, there is the one, and the one contains the many, and the many are contained in the one. There is an overarching one, and metaphorically it is said that that overarching one, which is the whole universe, the whole of the universe, is created of 4 different elements that spin together and then create everything that's in the universe. And those 4 elements are the fire, the water, the air, or the wind, and the earth. And we are looking at those 4 elements in that particular order, so they're cumulative: fire, water, air, and earth. And it is said that there's a 5th overarching element that is like a high form of spirit that works with these 4 energies and brings them all together. It's like a glue that holds them all together. Some say that that overarching energy, which is something like spirit with a capital S, is conscious. Thus, before there is any kind of universe, there is a thought of the universe. The creator, or whatever you want to call it, has a thought that a universe could come into being. So sometimes, for example, the suit of wind, which is about consciousness, is placed first in the tarot deck to show that there is a thought of the universe before a universe even can exist. We're placing fire first in Tarot of the Spirit. Fire is the spirit of the energy, but we are not precluding the spirit of what is going to come forth, but we are not precluding the idea of the 5th element, which overarches everything, like the spirit, the consciousness of the creator, or something like that, however you want to put it. But right now we're looking at the 4 elements that spin together to make up our universe. So we're talking about 4 elements right now, but also it is believed that there is a 5th element involved, and the 5th element brings up the quintessential 5 essential aspects of being. But does it make sense how there are 4 elements and then there's a 5th element that holds it all together? Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, so good. Okay, so we'll just look at the ones right now. So we're looking at the 1 of fire, the 1 of water, the 1 of wind, and the 1 of earth. Okay, so first of all, all of the ones represent a new beginning. It's a starting point. It's an arbitrary starting point, maybe, and an arbitrary starting point in each suit. It begins in each suit. The 1 of fire is the starting point and the energetic beginning of the whole suit of fire. So everything that the suit of fire represents is going to be contained. Every way that the suit unfolds is going to be contained in the origins of the suit. So the number 1 in each suit, and taken together, it's the origins of everything, the beginning of everything. So in the 1 of fire, we're going to have a starting point in spiritual energy, in the spirit of it. Okay, what is spiritual energy? We usually think of it as something that has to do with religion or something like that, and in a way that that pertains, because what we're talking about is an energy that links us into the cosmos in some way, and that is what happens in the suit of fire. The suit of fire is our cosmological link into the spirit of the universe. We are the universe. That is what we are going to learn on the path of Tarot. We are the universe. We are the universe enacting its own adventure. And it begins with the 1 of fire, with us awakening to the adventure and the aliveness and the energy of our own selves. So that is the 1 of fire. It is a huge awakening into the path of our own spirit. And you will see on the 1 of fire that there's an empty eye socket in the middle of the card. And this is a very important symbol. It's really important to understand the symbols on the cards. This is a really important symbol because there's an awakening of energy, but that energy doesn't yet know which direction it will be headed in. We come to the directionality when we get to the number 2, but in the 1, there's as yet no direction. So there's no pupil in the center of the eye. It's just an explosion of energy that is ready to go, ready to take off, and ready to move. By the way, that energy can turn in on itself if it doesn't find its direction soon. It will find its direction, though, I promise you it will. But if it doesn't find its direction soon, it can become agitated energy. It can become anxious energy. It can become energy that gets depressed and wants to go to bed and pull up the covers over its head. But in general, this card should be an exciting card to tell us something is about to happen when we get to the 1 of fire. Now, and by the way, the suit of fire is symbolized by fire, which is why I have a candle in the picture. Also, the 1 of fire is situated in the south. I place these cards in a circle, moving together, spinning and swirling to create the universe. And fire's in the south, in the direction of the most sun, in the direction of the flame. Now let's move to the water. So the direction of water is the west, and here where I am, water is in the west, and I have a bowl of water in the picture to demonstrate, again, that 1 of water is connected to the watery aspects of universe, and here we have a new beginning in water. Okay, so water is emotion, it represents emotion, it represents everything that you would think of about water, currents, swirling, stillness, all of these things are going to move through the water. But the water is a psychic medium. It's where we receive psychic impulses, our intuition, instinct, all of those things reign in the realm of water. Dreams, fragments, disconnected pieces of information that do not yet form into clear ideas. All of this comes to us in the suit of water. And I believe that in the suit of water, the highest we could go is to develop all of this into a deep sense of love that reigns in our heart. And sometimes I call the water suit the suit of heart, whereas I call the fire suit the suit of spirit. So we have the suit of spirit, and then we have that moving into the suit of heart. The dove on the card, 1 of water, is about receiving messages. It says, you are receiving messages. You are receiving messages. There's a dolphin on the card that says you are supported while you are receiving these messages. The dolphin represents joy, and it also represents financial stability, interestingly, that everything is okay, you're going to be okay. So if you draw this card, you might be getting the subtext that everything's going to be okay. You are receiving messages, but you need to open to receive. That card is called Open Channel. And by the way, the main symbol on the card, the one of water, is the pupil of the eye. So if you put that together with the one of fire, which not incidentally is called force, so if you have both the force working together with the open channel, you have got a great conjunction with those two cards working together, because now you have the vision of where you're going. And at the same time, let me interject that these suits are cumulative. So when you go through the suit of fire, you're going through 1 of fire, 2 of fire, 3 of fire, and so on, all the way up to the 10 of fire. And then at the 10 of fire, after the 10 of fire, you move into the 1 of water. So that would be the card following the 10 of fire in the Tarot of the Spirit. You do the same going all the way through the suit of water, and after you reach the 10 of water, you move over into the 1 of wind. The next suit. Wind is mind, is consciousness. And what we see in the card, the 1 of wind, is we see a blade slicing the light from the dark. It is like a light turning on in the 1 of wind, which is called dawn. It is a new day. It is a new morning. And what we see in this card is the symbol of the butterflies flying free from this new information, whatever new information is coming about. So it's a new information in consciousness, it's new information in the mind, and this suit is symbolized by the blade or the sword normally, and also feathers. With transcendence that comes through higher consciousness, what happens is the blades through the suit of wind or the suit of swords, what happens is those blades turn into feathers. So I also have placed, when I'm showing the cards today in this circle, I have placed next to the card, the 1 of wind, a crystal blade and also a feather. And that crystal blade, by the way, the crystal blade that you see placed next to the 1 of wind, happened to be given to me. It's a long story, and I think I will tell that story in another recording, but it was given to me on the day I was writing the 1 of wind, dawn, for Tarot of the Spirit for the book. Coincidentally, I'm going to leave it at that because these mysteries are continually taking place. Now let's look at the 1 of earth, which would be the 4th card, and the 1 of earth, by the way, is placed in the north. The 1 of wind is placed in the east. That's the dawning. That's where the sun rises. And then in the north, the darkest place, but also manifestation, is where we have the 1 of earth appearing. And next to the 1 of earth, I have placed a bowl of actually containing sacred healing dirt. And everything on this planet is said to come up out of the dirt. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. There's the dirt. There's the sacred dirt. When we get to the 1 of earth, and again, it's cumulative, we've got the fire, the water, and the air/wind happening. Then we pour it into all of that into the 1 of earth. And the 1 of earth is manifestation. Everything that is manifest contains the fire and the water and the air. And then in a certain sense, it walks out into earth as manifestation. And so what we see in the 1 of earth card with Tarot of the Spirit is we see all the forms beginning to come into being, and every form possible is represented on that card. And when you look very closely at the card, you see the component parts of everything that is spinning into being. So that is roughly the fire, the water, the wind, and the earth, the 4 ones. And those 4 ones are said to represent what is called the tetragrammaton, which is the secret name of the creator. And that tetragrammaton is Yod He Vah He, and the Yod He Vah He contains all 4 cards, and that Yod He Vah He are those are 4 Hebrew letters and you will see those Hebrew letters on each of those cards. So what that represents is the spinning into being of all that is. So that is the ones, and that is where all of it begins. Let's stop there on the ones, and then we will go into the next segment, which is about the twos.